Thank you everyone for joining us today for this Trusted Sources training for student basic needs. My name is Dr. Leslie Maxey and I'm the Dean of Students at Bellarmine University. And like many of you, we have changing demographics on our campus that we've been seeing for the last 5 years. And so we know that it's important for us to have these wraparound services on our campus. And so today's training is to help us to address these needs promptly, effectively, and thoughtfully for our students so we can help meet the moment for their student success. And so we'll begin today by having a brief video from Dr. Aaron Thompson, the president of the Kentucky Council for Post-Secondary Education, that outlines the origins of this work here in Kentucky.
Hello everyone, I'm Aaron Thompson and I'm the president of the Council on Post-Secondary Education. You know, I'm this kid that's from the hollers of Eastern Kentucky. I'm a first-generation high school student. I'm a first-generation college graduate. If you give the kind of inputs that are needed, any student can reach the finish line. We have a goal of having 60% of all of our working-age adults to have a post-secondary credential that matters, and we know we're going to have this in order to have the economy we need in the state. What we found out is that many of our students coming to us had basic needs that they were not getting and didn't know how to access. And so here we come along in 2023 and we convened the Basic Needs Action Network to develop a statewide strategy that achieves two particular objectives that we need to get to that 60 by 30. One, we had to increase the basic needs support. We have about 600,000 adult learners that are in need of a post-secondary credential. But we have many of these students that are really in a place whereby they can't think about following through and getting this credential without certain needs being met. So our goal was to make sure we increase the supports for those post-secondary students. We also wanted to increase access to post-secondary education for individuals receiving those supports. And this is crucial. If we're going to have the student success that we argue that we need, if we're going to have the talent that we argue that we need, we can't leave anyone out of this opportunity to get an educational attainment that matters and have the economic mobility that is due to them. So this is the work. This is what we're trying to accomplish, and you're key to this outcome.
At its core, basic needs work is about supporting students. And as Ariana Rodriguez, the current Miss Kentucky and a former Falsely Youth shares, each of you has a vital role in ensuring that we work successfully to reaching every student.
When I was a student, there were many times when meeting my basic needs wasn't easy. What made the difference were the people around me. Faculty, staff, and peers who noticed, listened, and helped connect me to resources I didn't even know existed. That support changed my path and eventually led me to the great honor of being Miss Kentucky. What I learned is that student success isn't only about academics. It's also about whether students have the support they need to meet their basic needs. Things like food, housing, transportation, or childcare. And that's where you come in. You don't have to have all the answers, but you can play an important role in helping students find them. Thank you for being someone students can turn to.
So today we have some training goals that I would like to share. We want to recognize how you can help cultivate a culture where student success is everyone's role. To understand, to respond to a student experience basic needs insecurity, and connect them with existing campus and community resources. We want to be able to equip all campus employees with information, skills, and confidence to effectively support student basic needs. Many of you have varying roles and are familiar in different ways with the concept of student basic needs. So we like to begin by providing an overview of the topic so we can all be on the same level. To start, we'd like to share a small portion of a video from our partners with the Hope Center for Student Basic Needs, and we encourage you to watch the full video on their website.
It's incredibly important to expand our view of what it means to address folks' basic needs and to expand our definition of basic needs insecurity. So someone who's experiencing food insecurity is more likely to need help paying their rent, right? Is more likely to need cash assistance at some point, is more likely to need support affording childcare. So making sure that our solutions are interlocking and intersectional as well, that we're not just solving one problem, that we're trying to solve many different problems.
As Mark indicated, basic needs are often overlapping and intersectional, so it's important to provide resources and support that address an expansive array of needs. So basic needs. We want to think about regular, nutritious, safe, and sufficient food and water. Safe and secure housing to sleep, study, cook, and shower. Healthcare for sustained mental and physical health. Affordable technology and internet service. Reliable and accessible transportation. Resources for personal hygiene. Childcare and related dependent care needs. We want to remember that basic needs insecurity is not a result of individual choices, but rather stems from a disconnect between our current systems and the needs for today's college students. Erica, a student at Gateway Community and Technical College, helps us remember this. She says many of us are balancing school with parenting, bills, and real life struggles. We aren't just students. We're caregivers, workers, and people trying to survive while improving our future. So beyond understanding what basic needs insecurity is also important for us to think about how this affects our today's college students. Data from the National Post-Secondary Student Aid Survey indicates that nearly 1 in 4 undergraduate students experience food insecurity. This means that roughly 4.3 million students aren't getting enough to eat. It also means that undergraduate students experience food insecurity at twice the rate of all U.S. households. At the same time, 1.5 million students are homeless. In Kentucky, we want to look at this data as well. So according to the 2023 survey for over 2,800 Kentucky students from Kentucky's community and technical college systems, we see that 59% of students experience some form of basic needs insecurity. 46% of students experience low or very low food insecurity. 55% of our students reported experience housing insecurity, and 15% of students reported experience homelessness. As basic needs insecurity often stems from a confluence of systematic factors outside of one's individual control, it is simultaneously true that any student can experience basic needs insecurity, and that some student populations also experience basic needs insecurity at higher rates than their peers. This Trellis survey of Kentucky students found that, for example, 65% of Pell Grant and other grant recipients experience basic needs insecurity. 66% of first-generation students experience basic needs insecurity. 67% of adults, that's students 25 years or older, experience basic needs insecurity. And 68% of parenting students experience basic needs insecurity. So as we think about the statistics we just looked at, and we think about if this is meeting our mission or not, just to give an example, at Bellarmine, we have 40% of our students in our first year class that are first generation. Over 50% of students in our first year class are Pell eligible. So to invest in basic needs is not turning our institutions into social service agencies. It is mission critical work for our students. We know that when these supports are not in place, the primary impact is a human one, and students suffer. And this leads, of course, to an academic impact, including lower GPAs and decreased likelihood of degree attainment that directly undermines the success of the institution's core academic mission. Research consistently shows that students experiencing one or more forms of basic needs insecurity report significantly lower GPAs than their peers. Food and housing insecurity are associated with a lower likelihood of degree attainment and worse mental health. Untreated mental health disorders are associated with lower GPAs, enrollment, discontinuation, and dropout. As one graduate student from the University of Kentucky shares, for students with families like me with 3 children, basic needs and academic success are inseparable. When a student is hungry or facing eviction, they cannot perform to their highest potential. Supporting these needs is not just an act of aid, it is a fundamental requirement for academic excellence. So again, when we're thinking about this mission critical work, we are meeting students where they are, and we are fulfilling the mission of our institutions. Recognizing these impacts, many of your campuses have already established resources to support student basic needs. Unfortunately, research and feedback from students suggests that even when services and benefits are available, students aren't receiving them. So let's look at some of these gaps. Frequently, the assumption is that this is related to stigma. However, in a survey by the Hope Center that surveyed over 74,000 students from 91 colleges and universities throughout the country, only 8% of students indicate that they didn't access resources because of stigma. On the other hand, 74% of students told us that not knowing about available resources, their eligibility rules, or how to access them were barriers that got in the way. Federal data indicate that students are similarly struggling accessing federal resources for meeting their basic needs. For example, a 2024 report from Government Accountability Office found that 2/3 of students who are likely eligible for SNAP benefits, that is 2.2 million students, are not receiving these benefits. What can we do about this? About this high prevalence of basic needs insecurity on our campuses and the gaps in getting students the supports they need and deserve. What role do we play? Let's think about how we are going to talk with students. Kentucky students shared that they often seek help when they are already in crisis, and they do so by reaching out to individuals that they already know and trust. That is many of you. And as such, you and I play a vital role in helping to bridge the awareness and information gap by ensuring that when students do turn to us, they are connected with a full range of resources that our institutions offer. Faculty and staff are often frontline observers of student struggles. Recognizing the signs allows for early, compassionate intervention, helping students access resources before they reach a crisis point. So in the classroom, what does this look like? This may look like a decline in academic performance, requests for accommodations. You also may begin to see increased absences. This also may look like some behavioral changes, increased stress, anxiety, irritability, unusual emotional outbursts, excessive fatigue, social withdrawal. Students may also express stress about paying for things like housing or groceries, exhibit changes in appearance, such as decreased hygiene or weight loss, have a consistent or sudden lack of course materials, and they may mention concerns about their ability to balance coursework with caregiving responsibilities. So in talking with students about their needs, the goal is to respond with empathy and to connect students to specialized resources, not to solve their problems. So how do we prepare for your approach? I think we think about finding a private and quiet setting to speak with students. Start by expressing your genuine concern and compassion. You could begin by mentioning some observations, such as, "I've noticed you've seemed more stressed lately," or "I'm concerned about your recent absences with class." You want to listen and acknowledge. Let the student share what they're comfortable with. Listen attentively without judgment. And to help validate their experience, you may say things like, "It sounds like you're going through a lot right now," can build trust and to show that you are respecting their feelings. Collaborate on solutions. Use open-ended questions to discuss what strategies and resources the student has already used to meet their needs. You may suggest, what kind of supports have you used and have been helpful to you? What challenges or barriers have you experienced when asking for help? I always find that this helps collaborate on solutions. We want to start by thinking about and what have been helpful and what hasn't been helpful, and not going in with, "Why haven't you been using these things?" I've found that these things are very helpful when we go in talking with students, when we think about our approach, when we listen, and when we collaborate. Such conversations may feel daunting at first, and it's okay to ease into the habit and thinking about short messages of support. As Angel shares with us, she says, "My professors will email me every couple of weeks and tell me I'm doing a great job, and that makes me feel seen." So turning this conversation to available resources, the best approach is to provide a warm referral or a handoff. Providing a warm referral instead of simply listing resources actively helps them find the next step. So don't say, "You should check out the food pantry," but do say, "I'm happy to connect you with resources on campus for student basic needs." And if possible, it is so helpful to walk the students to the location and help introduce them to the staff member that can help them next. This is us showing them that we are along on this journey with them, and it goes a long way. It's also helpful to know your resources. Familiarize yourself with campus offices and keep a list of those key contacts. Also know your limits. We do not expect you to be a crisis counselor. Be honest about what you can and cannot do. And when you can, follow up. A brief email just saying, "Just checking in to see how you are doing," shows that you care and reinforces that students are not alone. Again, the impact of even a brief interaction or message cannot be overstated. As a student from Northern Kentucky shares with us, professors and faculty want to help, but they don't know how. Even a professor saying, "Hey, I don't know what you need, but how can I help?" goes such a long way. That means the world. Okay, so I know there was a lot of information to absorb all at once. So we're going to take a few minutes to walk through what talking to students can look like in practice by completing a pair of practice scenarios. I'm going to read each scenario, and when I do, afterwards, please pause and reflect on how you might respond. You notice a student has been consistently arriving late to class, and his test scores have been dropping throughout the semester despite starting very strong. He visits you for office hours, but sits mostly quietly in the room. How would you respond? Scenario 2. During a meeting with you, a student mentions having to move between a few different friends' houses lately and starts tearing up. They mention feeling hopeless and not sure what the point of asking for help would be. How would you respond? To be effective in connecting students to available resources, it is of course essential that you know what resources you have on your campus and how to find them. That said, no one is expecting you to become overnight experts on your institution's basic needs resources, so we have some tools that we've prepared for you. In fact, one of our final goals today is to highlight new and existing tools intended to help you identify, share, and connect students with resources best suited to address their needs. The Kentucky Student Collaborative Central Resource page is the best starting point to locate information about available campus and community basic needs resources. Campus Basic Needs staff can provide even more individualized support in helping students navigate and obtain support from available resources. We've also created several awareness building tools designed to help you spread the word about available resources to students and to act as a quick reference for you to turn to for key information. Leveraging each of these tools in concert with one another will help further cultivate a comprehensive, connected support ecosystem that reaches all students at your institution. The first of these resources is a new page on the Kentucky Student Collaborative website. This page is designed as a central location for students, faculty, and staff to locate information for students experiencing student basic needs insecurity, campus and community resources, and contact information for basic needs staff. The new webpage also uses an AI tool called Beacon to provide users with a regularly updated database of available campus and community resources. Our friend Sarah Brady will now provide a brief overview of how Beacon works.
I'm Sarah Brady with Family Scholar House and myky.info, a resource web app that supports Beacon. Beacon functions similarly to other chatbots and messaging apps. When you access it, you'll see the Beacon mascot prompting you to start a new chat at the center of the screen with the text box to enter your questions at the bottom. For our example, we'll tell Beacon that we're looking for food resources for a student at Elizabethtown Community and Technical College. Beacon will respond with contact information for campus resources if available, as well as other nearby resources. Beacon will also suggest some action steps as well as keywords for a narrower search you may wish to try. Let's say our student is also a parent and we want to look for help applying for WIC. You can continue the conversation with Beacon and it will remember the location information you shared when providing these resources. Along with providing information about local resources, Beacon indicates it can share a list of documents to bring, so let's ask for that. Now, ask if our student lives in Hodgensville. It may be easier to access WIC resources there, so we can ask Beacon. And it will respond with an updated list of WIC resources since that's what we searched for last. If you want to start a search from scratch, you can click New Chat button in the upper left corner of the screen. Previous chats will be listed by topic in a column under that button so you can return to them as needed. Once you're done, you can simply close out the window and that's all there is. But remember, whether you're looking for resources for yourself or for someone else, Beacon is here to help.
Most, if not all of our campuses has that go-to student basic needs resource person on our campus. In addition to addressing students' immediate needs, cultivating a good relationship with the contact in that office will help keep you informed about new resources and changes to existing resources that will further enhance your ability to effectively and proactively support your students. You can find your institution's basic needs staff contact on this new resource page on the Kentucky Collaborative's website. We also have tools to help spread the word. We've created a PowerPoint slide template that you can insert into presentations. This will be helpful for faculty and staff on the first day of classes. This also could be great for student organizations as they have that first meeting of the semester. The QR code links students to the central website for basic needs resources that we have described. This template is also included in the new communications toolkit, alongside a host of other practical communication tools that you can adapt to fit your needs, including student stories, templates and resources, and design guidance. The toolkit is intended to help you be more effective in connecting students to student basic needs supports that already exist on your campuses. We hope to increase awareness of basic needs resources across the campus ecosystem, to normalize help-seeking behavior and to reduce stigma, to embed information seamlessly throughout the student experience, to strengthen trust between students and institutions, and to support student retention and completion by improving access to these critical resources on our campus. Finally, in the following slides, we want to offer a pair of syllabus statements that faculty can use to highlight campus services and plant the seed for future conversations with students. So we have examples from Henderson Community College and Bellarmine University. The statement from Henderson Community College is located with other syllabus statements on their website, making it easy for faculty to simply copy and paste this into their syllabi. And for our second example is from Bellarmine University. Bellarmine created a QR code that links to resource information, helping to limit the ever-growing sprawl of syllabus text. This was created a few years ago and has really been great for our staff and faculty to continue to point back to this as a resource for students. Because students are laser focused on assignments and grading criteria, we just encourage faculty to use this QR code, and it has been helpful and in basic needs awareness on our campus. As we come to the end of our time together, we wanted to share with you some key lessons that we hope you carry forward in your day-to-day work engaging with students. We want to remind you that everyone has a role to play in cultivating a culture of student success. Integrate outreach about available basic needs resources into everyday conversations with students. This destigmatizes asking for help and fosters greater student awareness of access to available resources. Please leverage the basic needs resources that we have created in this collaborative and your campus basic needs staff to ensure students are being connected to all resources that best meet their needs. Before we wrap up today, please take a moment to complete this brief form. This will help us to know who has completed the training and the information that resonated with you the most. And finally, we have some closing words from Dr. Thompson and Ariana Rodriguez, again about the important role we all play in this work to helping students succeed at our campuses and across Kentucky.
We recognize that it can be challenging to help students navigate complex and deeply personal situations, work that often requires patience, empathy, and sustained care, where there may not always be easy solutions or clear next steps. We hope that the information and tools we've shared during today's Trusted Sources training will provide you with the confidence to identify and connect your students with the resources they need to achieve their personal, professional, and academic goals.
More than anything else, please understand we get the opportunity to do something way bigger than us. The information you received here will be information that not only will help guide the way you're doing your work, it's also going to be something that they will get and share with other people. We know that we want to see them reach as high of an outcome that they need to personally, professionally, and academically, but more than anything else, we want them to know that during this process, they have built a lifelong way of thinking about how to give back to others. So thank you.
We would like to thank our partner, the Hope Center, for partnership in creating this Trusted Sources training for student basic needs. The Hope Center for Student Basic Needs is a team of researchers, scholars, advocates, conveners, and storytellers who envision a world where basic needs insecurity is no longer a barrier in pursuing and completing college. The Hope Center is constructed of 3 collaborative pillars that weave together research, policy, and practice. Through our Hope Impact Partnerships program, they have worked with over 240 colleges throughout the country. They help support institutions and state systems to use data to build awareness of student needs and connect more students to resources.